Hi, I'm Yartami. Welcome to my video. So let's start. Imagine you are looking at a simple pair of wireless earbuds on Amazon. The price is $35. Then you open a different app and you see the exact same pair for $3. You think it must be a scam. You think there is no way a business can survive by selling things that cheap. But then you click buy, and a week later the package arrives at your door. This is Temu. It is the story of a company that took a crazy idea and used it to challenge the most powerful retail empire in history. This is a story about a new system, a specific mindset, and a global financial battle that is changing how we buy everything. To understand Temu, we have to look at the proven pathway of its parent company, PDD Holdings. Just as Phil Knight studied the camera market to see if Japanese shoes could do the same for athletes, the creators of Temu looked at the American retail market. They saw a system that was slow and full of middlemen. When you buy something on Amazon, you are often paying for the brand, the American warehouse, and the shipping cost of several different companies. Temu's crazy idea was to remove every single one of those layers. They wanted to connect the consumer directly to the factory floor in China. In the beginning, many people didn't take them seriously. They thought the quality would be too low or the shipping would take too long. This is exactly what happened to Phil Knight when he first tried to sell Japanese shoes to American sporting goods stores. The experts told him they had no need for another brand. But Temu didn't wait for permission from the big stores. They used a bottom-up strategy. They went straight to the people. They used social media to turn shopping into a game. If you invited your friends to join the app, you got free gifts. If you played digital games, you got discounts. They turned discovery into an obsession. This is what we call the gamification of retail. Most shopping apps are built for people who know what they want to buy. Temu is built for people who want to be entertained. It uses the same psychological triggers that make social media addictive. By making the app fun and rewarding, they built a massive sanctuary of users in record time. Within just 1 year, Temu became the most downloaded app in the United States. They didn't just find a market, they created a new one for people who want the feeling of shopping like a billionaire without actually having the money. From a financial perspective, Temu's business model is a high-stakes, grow-or-die gamble. Just as Nike spent years being cash poor because they reinvested every penny into more growth, Temu is spending billions of dollars on advertising. They bought multiple Super Bowl ads, which are the most expensive commercials in the world. This was their Michael Jordan moment. They wanted everyone in America to know their name, even if it meant losing money on almost every order. In the world of venture capital and big tech, this is known as blitzscaling. You lose money now to capture the entire market later. The secret to their ultra-low prices is a concept called next-gen manufacturing. In the old system, a factory would make 100,000 items and hope they sold. With Temu, the data from the app goes directly to the factory in real time. The factory only makes what people are actually clicking on. This reduces waste and keeps the margin high for the manufacturer, even if the price for the consumer is very low. It is a level of efficiency that traditional brands simply cannot match. It is a digital version of the network of manufacturers that Phil Knight built to gain full control over his production. However, every massive success story has a dark side. Just as Nike faced a huge crisis over its factory conditions in the 90s, Temu is facing intense scrutiny today. Critics and governments are asking how it is possible to make a shirt for $2 without exploiting workers. There are reports and legal complaints about the system behind the cheap prices. The company argues that their efficiency is the reason for the low cost, but the controversy is growing. In the world of big business, your reputation is an asset that can be lost in a single day. There is also a major legal battle over something called the de minimis rule. This is a customs loophole that allows packages worth less than $800 to enter the United States without paying taxes or duties. This is the secret engine that allows Temu to beat Amazon. Because they ship millions of small, cheap packages directly from China to your house, they avoid the massive taxes that a company like Amazon has to pay when they bring in a giant container of goods. Just as Nike had to fight a $25 million bill from the US Customs Service, Temu is now in the middle of a political fight that could change its entire future. If the government decides to close this loophole, Temu's prices would have to go up. Their crazy idea would suddenly become much more expensive. This is the lonely chapter for the company, where they have to defend their model against the biggest players in the system. Amazon and other retailers are lobbying the government to change the rules, seeing Temu as a threat that could shut them out of the market. It is a war of nationalism versus global trade, similar to the American selling price battle that nearly bankrupted the founders of Nike. The mindset of Temu is to keep moving forward, no matter what. They are expanding into Europe, the Middle East, and Latin America. They are diversifying their income streams by allowing local sellers to join the platform. They realize that they cannot rely on just one loophole forever. They are trying to reach the freedom stage of business, where they are so big and so essential that they cannot be stopped. They are betting that the consumer will always choose the lower price, no matter the controversy. When we look at the rise of Temu, we see the power of a proven pathway. They didn't invent the internet or the factory, but they found a new way to connect them. They provided value to millions of people who were struggling with rising prices and inflation. They showed that in a digital economy, the person who controls the direct link between the maker and the buyer owns the future. The lesson here for any entrepreneur is that the timing is never perfect, and the system is always changing. You don't need to be an innovator to get rich. You just need to find something that is working and figure out how to do it better or cheaper. Temu saw that Amazon was becoming expensive and slow, and they took the leap of faith to build a faster, cheaper alternative. As we move toward 2026, the battle for your wallet will only get more intense. The giants of the past are being challenged by the apps of the future. Whether Temu survives its legal battles or not, it has already changed the rules of the game. It has proven that a crazy idea from across the ocean can land on your doorstep in a bright orange package and disrupt a multi-billion-dollar industry. So, what is your version of the crazy idea? Because the story of Temu shows us that the biggest empires are never as safe as they look. Sometimes, all it takes is a simple app and a promise to shop like a billionaire to change the world of finance forever. You just have to start. You just have to build your system. Or, as the world's most famous sports brand once said, you just have to do it. Note on sources. While the narrative structure, business concepts, such as the direct-from-factory model, the growth-at-all-costs mindset, and the customs regulatory hurdles, and storytelling DNA of this script are directly inspired by the provided transcripts for Nike and the 5 levels to getting rich. The specific historical facts regarding Temu, such as PDD holdings, the Shop Like a Billionaire campaign, and the de minimis loophole, are based on information outside of the provided sources. I have integrated these facts into the structural framework of the sources to meet your request. Please like or subscribe.